Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online challenge. We're back once again with Eldrazi Ramp on the play for game 1. We'll keep this hand. This is pretty solid. Looking at Chrysalis on 2. Either that or Kozilek's Command on 2. Once we find with Devourer, excuse me. Probably want to go with Temple. Temple seems right. Otherwise, well, okay, yeah, we're on the play. So either Temple or Command. I want to say Temple's correct. Sprawl on red and pass and pass. Orange Flats fetch, Sacred Foundry, Shock for Guided Souls, Ocelot Pride, that's fine. If it was a Guided Souls or Ragavan, I might consider holding the command. I actually am considering just playing Temple though. That way we can cast Devourer next turn. Pass. Hold up the ability to respond. Arid Mesa. And if they have the Johnny, they'll probably fetch, cast a Johnny, then attack. Galvanic Discharge. In response. Fetch Arid Mesa. Static Prison. Yes. I mean, that's 2 removal spells that they had to use there, so I'm okay with this. I'll take the hit from Ocelot Pride. Down to 19, up to 17. Trigger. Draw. Commercial District. Let's Ugin Lab. Imprint. And we will cast Rumble. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, we grabbed the Emrakul. 5 card types in yard. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, on the money. And we can also ramp with command. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2 off right now. That's fine. So we'll just hold up command here. They're going to wish they had saved that Static Prison for Emrakul. Elegant Parlor. Guide of Souls into Grave. Guide of Souls cast. Tempted to command the guide, but if they want to float something, I'm kind of fine with it. Go to combat. Trigger. Will you float a cat? You will float a cat. In response, I'm going to scry draw and exile. Done. Goodbye Pride. Ghost Quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I mean, we'll top the Myco, bottom the quarter. And my turn. A rumble. Oh, we are going to cast Emrakul. Play the commercial district. Trigger temple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll put that on top so that way we can devour her. Pass to our turn, comrade. A Flage and a Johnny and a Goblin Bombardment. Let's see what you draw. A second Flage. So, go to main, stack Prison Trigger. No, that'll go to Graveyard. Give me my Writhing Chrysalis. I mean, we can play a Johnny or we can play Flage, but we can't do both. Or we can play a Johnny, we can play Bombardment, but we can't do both, right? I don't exactly want to play a Johnny and Bombardment here. Don't really want to play the Flage either. Yeah, I think we just attack in with Cat Guide, go to blocks. Block and block. And pass. And pass. Alright, I'll let you, friend. Yeah, not the best mind control I've done. Flage, that's fine. Hits Writhing Chrysalis or me? It's Chrysalis. Yep. We'll be able to Jukabog next turn. Let's see here. Let's first Malevolent Rumble. So green colorless. Hold the red. There's World Breaker. I'll take World Breaker. We're gonna kick a Micah Spawn. And kick. The Jukabog. Get rid of Flage. Opponent scoops it up. Alright, on for game 2. Solid game 1. We will bring in return, bring in Chrysalis, cut Karn, and run it back. Yeah, overall, that was a very solid start. Was that a turn 3? I think that was like a turn 3 Emrakul. We played Chrysalis, and then immediately after played Emrakul. It was either turn 3 or turn 4, because we turned 2 the Chrysalis. No, so it must have been turn 4. Yeah, turn 4 Emrakul, which still fantastic. I think in future iterations, I'm probably going to cut a Urgast. Like right now, I'm thinking I want between 1 to 2 Ancient Stirrings that I want to test, so probably cut a Urgast, a Chrysalis. I kind of like the one of Urgast over the third Emrakul personally. I think it just does give the deck additional degree of flexibility and potential, just not combo potential, but like explosiveness. On the draw for game 2, that's such an awkward hand. Like, a fetch would make so much more difference. Mulligan. What makes this hand good? Specifically, command a green source. I mean, there's a lot of hits, right? So, 4 commands, 9. I guess I don't even need the tapped. I mean, okay, let's say 10, so 14 hits. Talisman would be a place to start. So 18. We can keep it pitching a Utopia Sprawl probably. And done. So, not the greatest, not the worst hand I've ever seen. It's a very mid-hand. Ragavan's a bit scary. Oh, Gemstone, you're a one-off, mate. That one's so good. Temple. Pass. Pass. Tempted to potentially Ghost Quarter my own Cavern Assault. Gemstone Caverns for green. Not gonna lie. Marsh Flats. Attack, of course, they're gonna hit a green source. Because, you know, that's how Ragavan works. Commercial District, yep. It always hits the card that you want to see. Guaranteed. There's the treasure. Flage. Blood Moon. Fable. Okay. Utopia Sprawl. Rip. Once again, tempted to go Gemstone. Ghost Quarter to Gemstone. It's cute. It would give us Myco Spawn. Play Gemstone. Pass. It's not what I want to do, but it might be what I need to do. We aren't drawing anything else. Pitching just a Static Prison. Okay. Right now, Charmal's online. Not thrilled about that prospect. Attack. Trigger. Devourer. Can't cast that. You can't generate colorless. Opponent's casting something. Guide of Souls. Yeah. Pass. Okay, what do we draw? Hey, we don't need to do the thing I was thinking of doing. Forest. So Myco Spawn would at least provide us a blocker. So I think we do cast Myco Spawn. I think I want a red source here. We could go Forest Sprawl, but I think maybe go Stomping Grounds tapped. Otherwise, we could go a Fetch just to see what we need in the moment, but I think maybe Stomping Grounds tapped is correct. Yeah, Stomping Grounds tapped. Pass. At the very least, Utopia Sprawl is mana neutral. Mesa, Fetch. Parlor, Trigger, Resolves. And Mesa to the grave. And pass. Fable, flip, triggering Guide of Souls. Gets an energy, gains a life. Do you have anything to get rid of the Myco Spawn, Flage, Discharge, Prison, etc.? Looking like a prison. Okay. So we're going to take some hits. Will you float a creature? You can actually do so without issue because you can Reflections like Kiki Jiki on upkeep or on draw, triggering Guide of Souls. So they could float here. I think it would be correct. Not to mention if they draw in or have another creature they can cast. Yep. They'll float the Ragavan. So we'll be at 7. Trigger, World Breaker. Okay, that's fine. What do we need right now? A miracle. That's what we need. I guess a Kozilek's Return would be bad, but what are they doing with these treasures? Oh, they're doing World Breaker. Oh, shoot. Ew. Yeah, that's a problem, actually. Gets rid of Temple. Yeah, I think we just lose. Honestly, I think that might just be the nail in the coffin. Yeah. Command would have been good. It would have been good. Bit late. It would have been good. Sprawl on stomping for red. Rumble question mark. Is this gonna be enough? There's Emrakul, but I don't think it's enough. 5 types in yard. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Even if we had that temple, we would have been short. Damn. Do we survive the turn? I can get rid of the Ragavan. You can survive the turn. Okay. Pass. It's like they can make a copy of Worldbreaker that will give them 1 more energy. They got 1, so they need 2 to float. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need 1 token. I don't know if I can spare a token, is the problem. Copy Worldbreaker. Yeah, so I need to block both breakers. Oh, that's gonna be close. Going to be close. We have a land in yard, so I can't Ghost Quarter. Yep. Yeah, so I have to block at least 1 breaker, 2 breakers. I have to block with both, bottom line. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So a soul land, specifically a temple, for an Emrakul would be needed. Oh, rude. Rude as hell. Yeah, you got it. Alright, on to game 3. We will cut the gemstone, bring back in a Karn, run it back. On the play for game 3. I'll keep this. It's a turn to return, turn to command. The question is whether or not to play Lab now or Catacombs. I want to say Catacombs, pass, but a pause on end step for Commercial District. Catacouls. Fetch for District. Trigger. Sprawl. Yeah. Graveyard. Yeah, there's Emrakul. I will tuck that Emrakul and pass, holding up return and command. 2 types in yard. Marsh Flats, fetch. Sacred Foundry, shock. A Johnny. Going to attack with Gaia Souls first, which is correct. And a Johnny. A Johnny. Yes. Trigger. Let's just get this out of the way. Return. Pass. Draw. Chrysalis. Unfortunately, we do not have a second type. We'll tuck the Aragast and hold up a command X equals 3 for next turn. Arena of Glory. Hasting something. Hasting a frickin' Charmaw. Yeah. Charmaw targets. Yeah, we will ram Scry draw. So we could go Stomping Ground. Yeah, Stomping Ground might be correct. Because Stomping Ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So let's go Talisman bottom, Temple. We might go Temple top. And then make it the next draw after? I don't know though. Because it goes Stomping Ground. We'll play the Writhing Chrysalis. Sure, right? Then we have a blocker for the Charmaw. We kind of want something after that is the problem. Urgast obviously is next up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you know what? Okay, let's go Temple top, Stomping Ground top, draw. Pass. Attack. Down to 14. Draw. Stomping Ground, Shock. Chrysalis. We hope and pray they don't have a second one. Pass. So now we can block the Charmaw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ideally, they don't even attack, because I would like to cast this Aragast without having to sack spawns. Or without... I'd like to basically not have to block, more or less. What's the opponent thinking? Double white. So it doesn't feel like a Charmaw. You just had to go and do that. So like if we were to Aragast, we'd have to then... I'll block. Sack 1, trigger. Trigger resolves. Sack 2, trigger. Trigger resolves. Go to damage. Static Prison, a Johnny resolves. We can clear board. Malevolent Rumble. We could Rumble instead. That is a genuine option. Rumble. Emrakul. 4. So let's take a look. 4, 5, 6. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so Emrakul will be good. 7 card types. And I might as well sack all those spawns. I'm going to clear board. Though I don't need to clear board, right? Especially if we're going to take control of their turn. So Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me be smart about this. Trigger. So 2, so 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Trigger another one. Return. Bone scoops it up. Bone scoops it up. Good stuff. Alright, solid 2-1 win against Energy. We'll be back for round 2. Alright, and we're back for round 2 on the draw for game... Yes, Butter, game 1. Can I help you, sir? Hi. I'm gonna need you to go if you're gonna play with wires. Oh, goodbye, sir. Butter had thoughts and feelings. This hand is... okay. How many hits do we have off the top? We have 9 green sources. Okay. We have 4 talismans, which would kind of help. At least would get us to rumble. Yeah, I'm thinking we just mulligan this. We can keep this. We pitch a... I want to say a talisman. Done. Reveal. Pass. So now we can go Sprawl on 1. Ideally find a soul land for 2. More energy. So Ocelot Pride on 1. That's okay. Trigger. Ugh. We could exile it all. That's a genuine thought. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing so, honestly. Try something fresh. Commercial district, probably one of the things I didn't want to see. I wanted to see that so I wanted to fetch that later. We'll pass. Yeah, Soul Land, Kozak's command would be good. Correction, return, not command. Okay. Well, we'll play the talisman. I will play a commercial district. Okay, another talisman. Like, on one hand, I want the double colorless pips. On the other hand, I want something better than a talisman. Pass. And pass. Static Prison my talisman. Yep. Attack me for 2, down to 17. I mean, if that's all they do, then they have a really reactive hand, and we're kind of okay with that. Yeah. Really, really slow going hand. There's the temple we've been looking for. So now we have something going for us. We can now command. We can exile the Ocelot Pride. Otherwise we can ramp draw. X3 is an option. I think we take the 3. Shock? Okay, so what you got? 2, 3, Ranger Captain of Eos. Yes. What do you find? A Ragavan? Because it could be a Gaia Souls to set up for next turn. We definitely want to command this turn. That much is clear. The question is, do we want to Gaia Souls? Scry draw for return or not? I could also X3 get rid of Ranger Captain. But we could also do that with Devourer, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'll take the 3. Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In retrospect, let's get rid of this cat. I don't exactly want them getting City's Blessing, starting making ridiculous amounts of cats if I can help it. And take 2. You can get rid of Ranger Captain of Eos. We draw. Do you sacrifice? Discharge. In response, forest. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Won't get rid of the Ranger Captain. And pass. They'll sack it so that way at least goes to grave. Yeah, makes sense. You do need some good top decks here. Feeling a little bit exposed with nothing in hand. I do think in retrospect, it's probably correct for me to ramp Scry Draw, block of a token, and sack it. But we'll see how it works out. 2 cards in hand. They fetch the Floodstrand for an Elegant Parlor. No, so that tells me they have something in hand. Flage? Yes. Flage targets what? So you must have a Galvanic Discharge? If you're targeting the Devourer. That'd be my only explanation for that. Okay, so at this point, what could we hit off the top that we would like to see? Command would be fantastic. Mycospawn would be good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess Malevolent Rumble would be fine. So, like, there's a lot of good hits. Draw. Roadbreaker, it isn't exactly one of them, but we can at least get rid of the Arena of Glory, which I think is relevant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll play the Forest. Yeah, the Arena of Glory is a genuine issue. So there is also one other thought here. So we could get rid of the Arena of Glory, but then they're guaranteed to at least unearth Flage, right? Because they'll sack the Static Prism and then cast Flage. I could, and this is risky, go after the Static Prism, exiling it, meaning that they won't have enough in the yard to cast Flage. However, Galvanic Discharge will Galvanic Discharge, Goblin Bombardment, no. I guess it would be Galvanic Discharge or what else? A fetch. Just guess them there. We're gonna try and high roll it. Screw it. Give me my talisman back. We're gonna hope to hell that you don't draw into a fetch or a discharge. And verdict is looks like they didn't find it, but it means we cannot block the Guide of Souls. Point blank statement. Gives me another turn to potentially deal with this Phalasian Yard. We block the cat all day, we cannot block the Guide of Souls. Yep, that's fine. I mean, if they had it, they would have hasted out the Flage. Return. I'll pass. We don't want to do it now. A Johnny? Ragavan. Guide of Souls trigger. Bollocks. So do you think they had the Ragavan? I feel like if they had the Ragavan... Okay. But they would have played the land last turn. Actually, let me take a look real quick. Hold on. Did you play a land last turn? You did not. This is fine. Basically, they're banking on me not blocking. I will block the Ragavan and take the one from the cat. I don't think you have a land. I will fetch with a Catacomb to thin our deck down to 9. Not thrilled about that prospect. That's our last fetchable land too. Ugh, such an ugly hit. Yeah, I mean, we were playing the Gambit. Yeesh. I mean, we had so many good hits, though, is the problem, right? Everything from Emrakul to Aragast to Command, Rumble, Myco Spawn. We had so many good hits off the top. Alright, we'll pass. I can't do anything about it. We're going to take potentially 6 damage from the Flage. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so Hasty Flage. I wonder where they send the 3. They must have this. They must send 3 at me. Okay, Hasted Ragvan. Yep, that's fine. And then Flage. I want to see where they send this 3 damage. I don't want to cast Return first. Where do you send a 3? At me or Breaker? At me. Okay. I might as well get this out of the way then. Actually, makes it an 8/8. Yeah, I need to get this out of the way now regardless. So now you can attack. You can send 3 at Breaker, but that won't matter. We would trade at that point, and I'd be okay with this. Yeah, and they realize it too. Okay, we need something off the top. Still not what we want. If they attack, though, it's okay. We'll still be at 3, though, which means another Flage kills me. Any form of removal also kills me. Discharge kills me? Yeah, of course. Damn. Yeah, you got it. There's nothing I can do about that. So, energy, lost for game 1. Yeah, we drew bricks off the top. So unfortunate. We'll be on the play, so we can cut Cavern, which means we can keep a Karn. Yeah, I couldn't cast Return before Flage targeted with its 3, because if I did, then they could have killed the World Breaker. I'll be on the play for game 2. A green source would have, or rather forest would have made the world of difference here. You don't have it though, so we mulligan. Okay, we have the forest now, but we have nothing else. We have 8 hits off the top. That's still less than 12.5% per draw. But then we also have Rumble. I can keep this. I think we drop the Bog, the Chrysalis, the Mica Spawn, or the Emrakul. Let's say Emrakul. Forest Sprawl red. And pass. So ideally find a soul land off the top. Ragavan. Yep. Draw. Yeesh. The Jukabagu. Pass. And of course, how it works is that they're going to hit me with Ragavan, and it's going to be an Eldrazi Temple on top of the deck. Without fail, it's going to happen. I'm calling it now. Place your bets, folks. It's going to be an Eldrazi Temple. Okay, World Breaker. I was wrong. I'm happy to lose that bet. Maybe they draw me into a temple. That'd be awesome. Any untapped land would be good here, actually. Any untapped land. Or fetch. Let me clarify. Any untapped land or fetch. Two, Ranger Captain of Eos. Oh, okay. And the question then is, do we cast... If we do draw into a untapped land, let's see if we do first. Hey, you got me into the temple. That's awesome. Awesome for me, not as much for you. Chrysalis or Sowing Mycospawn. Chrysalis gives me more blockers, gives me a bigger body. Sowing Mycospawn is short on... Actually, you know what? Chrysalis doesn't make Charmaw cheaper. So I think Chrysalis is correct. At the same time, we could go Mycospawn for a commercial district. Doing so would allow us to Aerogast, but then we don't have what we need for the Emrakul plan. We could go commercial district. We could always emerge. Because then we'd be able to go Sowing Mycospawn. 1, 2. We need to draw into a land, right? Because we go Temple, Bog, land, 1, 2. It'd only be 3 is the problem. 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, we'd be short. So maybe Chrysalis is correct just because we can't really execute the plan with Mycospawn just yet. We're just a little bit short. Pass. We'll hold up the ability to respond. Right now we are playing around a Charmaw still. Elegant Parlor tapped. They did grab a Gidasouls, right? Yeah. There's the Gidasouls. And an Ocelot Pride. Who would have thunk? Whenever there's a Gidasouls, there's always an Ocelot Pride right behind it. Without fail. Okay. Ocelot Pride triggers. Triggering Gidasouls. Gidasouls triggers. Another Aerogast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, grab red source. Red, 2, trigger, Airgast. That's a thing I could do. And we'd be able to at least get a 6/6 flying blocker. Is that worth it though? If they get another land, then they can cast a Charmaw. So we could alternatively cast Mycospawn, kicked, grab a red source. That'll leave us with 1, 2, 3. So we'd be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll leave red, black, red. It'd still be short 1 for the Mycospawn, but the Airgast would let us cheapen things. It's legendary though. Okay, let's go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triggers. Get rid of the Sacred Foundry. Once again, playing around Charmaw, we're gonna grab the commercial district. Utopia Sprawl. It's mana neutral, right? So we would be able to go... I mean, we already have red, so it's not as much of an issue. red 2, which is 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we'll put that in grave. Triggers. So now we have another blocker. Yeah, I think this course of action is correct. We're on the defensive right now. Marsh Flats, they're still short the Charmaw. Stock Present would be rough with Johnny. Okay, so I can no longer block the cats. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. City's Blessing on top of it, so they're going to go wide now. So blocking cats not allowed. What do we need off the top to succeed here? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. And I need 8. Oh, hold on. What do you float? The cat or Eos? It's a 5/5 though. Yeah, I won't block it. Not blocking the cat either. So I'll take the 6 down to 12. I think I need a untapped land, is that right? Does it need 8 mana? This would be a -1, so 3, 1, 2, green, colorless, black, leaving 1, 2, 3, 4. No, okay, so we can do it next turn. Okay, I think we're fine then. Trigger. Guide the Souls a lot. Alright. Let's see if we can make it work. If I'm correct in my math. Land would be good though. Do you have a discharge? That's fine. Talisman of Impulses does not do it. So we are going to make sure we do this correctly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These back 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Trigger. We're going to grab Sanctum of Ugin. I'm going to sacrifice the Sowing Mica spawn. Trigger. Should have triggered this first, but I don't think it would have mattered. I'm going to exile my hand. So I have 3 types in Yard. Yes. And we now have a land. Yes. We're going to grab Emrakul. Resolve. I'm going to play Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. We can now Emrakul by sacrificing Aragast. Trigger. Alright, friend. They fetch with the Marsh Flats. Elegant Parlor. This is why I say I think one of Aragast is correct. And we can also sweep the following turn. So as long as we survive, we can sweep. And that's what matters. Pass. We hold up our blockers. So we can kill 3 things. Oh my word, bombardment? I think we can win. Yeah, I think we can win here. So... Draw. Main. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. We should be able to flip both of Johnny's. Yes, I think we win. Arid Mesa. Fetch. We'll grab a Sacred Foundry and Shock. We'll play a Goblin Bombardment and sack a cat targeting you. A Johnny will flip. Yes. Bombardment hits you. Before I finish, do I want to get the Gidasouls to hit me? Or the attack of the Gidasouls, will that matter? We can trigger Johnny and hit them for 8. I can hit them for 10. So that'll put them down to 9, up to 11. But then we should have it. So even if we just sacrifice the Gidasouls targeting themselves now. Sacrifice the Gidasouls. Cast the Johnny. A Johnny 0. Reflexive trigger, target self. Bombardment, target self. Sacrifice a cat. A Johnny trigger. Yes. Keep. Oh no, which one's which? Why could you not make this obvious? I mean, it doesn't matter, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It does matter. God's sake, why? This one? Thank God I was right. Trigger. Trigger target self. Hey, look at that. Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Emrakul coming in clutch. We would have been dead to rights had we not been able to cast Emrakul. If we had not taken their turn, we were dead to rights. Criminy. Okay, Gemstone in, Karn out. Like I said, I think one Urgas is correct. His hand's not keepable. It is not. Mulligan. We have 8 hits off the top. I'll keep it. At the very least, we have a turn 2 impulse. Any other land gets us 2 impulses. So I'll keep, pitch a command. Yeah, that seems right. Keep, pitch, command, done. Pass. Like, I'm not sure if they're playing Blood Moon, so I think a forest is correct. So forest, fetch, forest, sprawl, red, Ragavan. I would like to see a lab. Stomach grounds. Fetch. Still happy to see a land, I will admit. But forest, sprawl, on red, and pass. And pass. Of course, now it's going to hit a lab. because I mentioned lab. Once again, it's how it always works. It always hits the thing you want. Airgast. That's a bit unfortunate. I would have liked that. Imagine if they somehow emerged Airgast. Oh god. Blood Moon? Oh no, the Molten Rain! Opponent! Don't do this to me! Oh shoot. Okay. Whoever had the thought to put Molten Rain in the sideboard of any red deck that could run it, I curse you. I curse you and your lineage thereafter. Because it's so messed up. To be fair, I feel like I now understand what it's like to be on the other end of a sowing Mycospawn. So, I can't say too much. Because that's what I do to people on turn 3. I sinkhole their lands on turn 3. So, in some twisted fashion, this is just my comeuppance. Especially as being one of the people who has pioneered this archetype. Yeah. Remind me, does Witchbane Orb protect permanents, or is it just you? Because I'm starting to wonder if maybe Witchbane Orb is necessary. Witchbane? Oh, Witchbane, no. Destroy all curses attached. Oh, you have hexproof. No, which I'm thinking of. I'm thinking Orbs of Warding. Orbs of... Okay, well that's just rude. You have hexproof. So I think the only thing that gives permanence what gives permanence hexproof? I want to say there's something. I think we just lose though. Stomping Ground. Yeah, we... Dude, double Molten Rain. What am I supposed to... Once again, I will point out and I will admit that is what I did to people. That is what I continue to do to people. I turn 3 a sinkhole off a Mycospawn. And then turn 4 sinkhole with a World Breaker or a Mycospawn. Or just take control of your turn, right? So, you know what? I can't complain too much. But again, whoever thought of putting Molten Rain in the sideboard over Charmaw or Blood Moon or White Orchid Phantom, I curse you and your lineage. So, that sucks. Because I think, yeah, every time I've seen Molten Rain hit the board, or rather be cast, I've lost the game. Like, almost guaranteed. At least I can play around Charmaw. At least White Orchid gets me a basic back, right? At least I can also play around White Orchid by grabbing a basic. At least with Blood Moon, we can play around that. If anything, I still think Blood Moon is the worst card to bring against us. But Molten Rain, arguably one of the best freaking sideboard cards against Eldrazi right now. We're so reliant on like the Forest Utopia Sprawl into X. Of course, now we had a slow hand, I will admit, but I don't think I even got a turn because they turn 1 Ragavan hit and then turn 2 Molten Rain and then turn 4 Molten Rain. Yeah, there was nothing I could do. I think the main difference is like I normally, outside of a Gemstone Cavern hand, cannot turn 2 Sinkhole you. But for Ragavan, you can, and that's concerning. Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah. Well, it is what it is. We'll be back for round 3. Alright, and we're back for round 3 on the draw for game 1. Let's take a look at our opening hand, shall we? That's a mulligan. Only thing that would make this hand better would be a Sanctum of... Not a Sanctum of Ugin's Labyrinth, so we mulligan. Rough. Mulligan again. Only thing that makes this hand better would be a 7 mana value spell. Well, okay. So 7 mana value spell plus Forest makes this hand significantly better. we could, so that is what, 10, 19 out of 54. I mean, those odds are good. It's like, what, 33, probably a little bit better than a 33% chance. I'll keep it. It's risky, but we'll do it. I've gambled on lower odds before. Oh, Jesus, no. Hey, look at that. We hit the odds, but I'm not sure it's gonna matter against Titan. We now desperately need a 7-mana value spell off the top now. Like, if we don't find a 7-mana value spell off the top, I think we lose. At least pretty close to it. Because we'll be able to go Lab, Talisman, Rumble. And that goes 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it'll give me a turn 3, likely give me a turn 3 kicked Myco Spawn. Which will be good, but will it be good enough is the question. So this is 3 mana. They would need a +3. It's a hard ask for this deck. Razor's possible +2, +1 is fine. So it seems like a bit of a slower hand for Titan. Verdant Catacombs. Probably want to play this Fetch. Fetch Shock. I would like the double red. Talisman. Rumble. Yikes. Okay, well, Temple does at least get us somewhere. So we have a kicked Myco Spawn next turn, but like I said, I'm not sure if that's enough. Next turn they have 5. If they have a +1, they have Titan, but they don't have the OTK. So we're not dead. Vestige is a +2. So now they need a +1. 5. Escape, shift, shoot. So double Lotus. Yeah, so that should be enough. Because double Lotus T-West and Bounce Land, yeah. With double Lotus T-West, I think they go the Aftermath Analyst plan. Because now they can T-West. That should be enough for Aftermath Analyst. Summer's Pact for Analyst. Yep. Now, they have the Shifting Woodland, yeah. Damn. I was going to say they're going to need the mill. Now, they can mill their entire deck. Now, they don't have something important. So they don't have the win. But they can bounce my entire hand. They can destroy all my non-basics, leaving me with just 3 basics, which is okay. Though, no, they can T-West. So they can pick up the T-West for Dryad. That's if they're running more than one pact, but if they are, then they grab Dryad. And at that point, they're going to mill their entire deck. And Valakut me? Yeah. And they just Valakut me. Oh, okay. Well, they can just go Titan. Grab Valakut. They can then haste Titan. Mirror Pool. Not sure if the Mirror Pool's correct here. I think just grabbing Valakut would be correct. They pick up the Boseiju. I think it's correct to pick up Otawara. So I think we are dead. Just comes down to whether or not they see the line. Because, yeah, I think they can just go Dryad and then rinse repeat Aftermath Analyst until they find Valakut. But with the Primeval Titan, now all they really need to do is get Valakut and then rinse repeat Aftermath Analyst, and it'll at least hit in 4 or 5 lands every time. Yeah, so I don't know why they're going this deep when all they need is a Valakut. Yeah, no, I think they're overthinking this. They have a lethal line and they just don't see it. Because the Titan gets them the Valakut. But now they can haste a second Titan, right? Now they can Shifting Woodland, target the Aftermath Analyst. They can rinse repeat that now. Since they sack the Hand Weird, they can haste Titan. And they can haste basically infinite Titans because of Mirror Pool. Yeah, so with Aftermath plus Titan. Okay, so it's a different lethal line. But it still works. Oh, interesting. How did Echoing Depths target Hainweir when Hainweir was on the field? I don't understand that one. Maybe someone in the comments can figure out the ruling there. But now you can make another copy of Titan. With Mirror Pool. Yep. And then you can haste another Titan with the copy of Hainweir, which I'm still not sure how that was a copy. And that is 8 or 17 damage. So yeah, that's lethal damage on board. Haste the Titan, I concede. Yeah, you got it. Yep. I mean, it's game 1. I might as well make them spin their wheels. Like, you have lethal, just attack. I got nothing. That's 18 damage, I'm at 17. Otawara bounce, yeah. You got it. So yeah, a little bit of a different lethal line than I was thinking, but it is correct. Or at least there was a different way of going about it. They could have done it a multitude of different ways. So, this is Titan. Loss for game 1. Alright, so we'll bring in Stone Brain, Stone Rain, and cut Chrysalis Gemstone. Run it back. Yeah, so I think this matchup is a good example of why Nature's Claim is probably going to be good. Thinking Nature's Claim because it hits Amulet, it hits Saga, which gets Amulet. I think Force of Vigor could also be viable in the sideboard. And I'll be testing next week if Force of Vigor does work. Because I think we're going to bring in 2 Ancient Stirrings, which will increase the number of green spells up to 10. And with, let's just say, 2 copies of Force of Vigor, that would be 12, which is like the floor. Ideally, we want to be up to 14, but I think 12 should, keywords, be enough. Though the only downside is it would require us to pitch a green spell, right? Or have 4 mana with double green, which double green isn't too hard to get to, though it does kind of conflict with Aragast. But we'll have to figure it out. On the play for game 2, potential turn 3 rain. I'll keep. Burning Catacombs, fetch. I think we go Forest so that way they can't Beseiju. So Forest. Sprawl red. Pass. A land gets us turn 2 rain. Saga trigger. Please don't have an amulet. Ugh. Commercial district. So we'll rumble. Rumble lets me grab Misty. Do you want to grab Misty? Yes. Commercial district. Trigger temple top. Pass. So next turn we can rain plus. Probably don't want to play Temple next turn. Probably just want to play Misty, Rumble, Rain. Yeah. Probably correct. We'll get rid of the Saga. You can't get rid of the Amulet of Vigor. Yeah, see, if Stone Rain here was a Nature's Claim, or a Force of Vigor, that would have been actually really good. Yeah, in retrospect, that would have been really, really good. Another Saga, Jesus. Because we could have been able to force both the Saga and the Amulet with a Force. I think Force of Vigor might be right. 2, 4, 6. Like I said, I don't think that benefits us, though. And Temple can get Besaged. So I think we go Misty, Fetch for Forest. Rain, Saga. And then Rumble. Sowing Myco Spawn. Pass. And pass. There is a world where we World Breaker the Dryad, but I think we want to either that or the Amulet, but probably the probably the Saga. So I think we go Sowing Myco Spawn and kill the Saga. We can try and ramp after that. The problem is, if they have a bounce land right now, they win. Yeah, they win. Well, maybe not win. I don't think they can OTK me, but we'll definitely be in a poor position. 2, 4, yeah, that's a Titan. I mean, the turn 3 is hard for us to interact with, but a Force of Vigor there would have been significant, because we would have been able to take out both the Saga and the Amulet. I think I want to test out Force of Vigor. I think it will help in both the Breach and the Titan matchup. Do you want to take a look at the casting cost of Force? Force of Vigor. It's not your turn, may exile a green card from your hand. Destroy up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments. Yeah. Valakut. Yeah. So Force of Vigor, I think, seems correct. Other option, like I said, is Nature's Claim. Which we would have been able to get rid of either the Saga or the Amulet at that point at instant speed. Yeah. So Force or Nature's Claim? I think that's the question. I think the next version that I test for next week is going to be... I mean, it doesn't matter what I do here, I die. Two Ancient Stirrings. And two Ancient Stirrings. Cutting Chrysalis, cutting Airghast. So down to 9 7-mana value spells, down to 1 Chrysalis. Cut 2 Stone Rains for 2 Force of Vigor. And maybe cut the 3rd Stone Rain for a 3rd Writhing Chrysalis in the side. That might be correct. Yeah. I'm not sure when I would bring in the 3rd Chrysalis, though. I'll have to give some thought. But like I have some ideas, and I think that was a really good moment where if we had the Force instead of the Stone Rain, we would have been in a much better position than where we ended up. So it does make me think Force might be correct. That said, we'll have to wait and see. And we'll be back for round 4. All right, and we're back for round 4 on the play for game 1. This hand could be better, but could be worse. I will keep this. This does allow us to do a lot. So reveal Devourer, trigger, draw. I would like an untapped land ideally. At the same time, 2... So 2, 3, 4, 5. An untapped land would allow us Karn on 2. Or Command on 2. I think I will take the quarter. And depending on what happens thereafter, we can evaluate whether or not we want to play Talisman or play Quarter or District. Someone's thinking Scouting Tarn, fetch. Is this Grinding Station? Breeding Pool, Shock, and a Tameo? Haywire Might, that's fine. So we will play Karn. I, at this point, assume that we are playing against Grinding Station. I don't think they can get both Delirium plus the mana they need. So I'm going to just tick up with Karn and pass. And pass. Saga. Saga's fine. Rumble. Grab Emery. Breach. Hits Karn. Yep. So we can Ghost Quarter to Saga. So I think that's correct. Stomping Ground, Shock, Sprawl on red. I can, at this point, minus Karn. It's a bit dangerous to minus Karn is my only concern. No, we will have to minus Karn. They have Delirium. Because 1, 2, 3... Preordained Sorcery? 1, 2, 3. So they're 1 off. I'll minus Karn. We can always command the Might. So go Crypt. Pass. They've drawn for turn. I'm going to Ghost Quarter the Saga. Fancy Island. Main. Combat. Attack Karn. Command. I'm going to scry draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we go ramp. Let's ramp. And done. Get rid of the might. Can't let Karn get to 2. If they do, then they can Unholy Heat regardless of Delirium, which they do have Delirium right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can Devour Ursoon. Bobble, that's fine. I'll plus on Bobble. Shock, Stomping Ground. Grape Shot. Targeting Karn. Yes. I think that's enough to kill Karn, but that does get rid of one of their win cons. 2, 3. Yes, that's unfortunate. Draw. Temple. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We would exile our own Sprawl though, which is a bit meh. Commercial District. Karn on top. So we need to survive the turn. Alright. Do you Mishra's Bobble me? So you see Karn on top now. That should be reason for concern. Bubble draw. We still have Crypt. Opponent scoops it up. Alright, we got there. Yeah, them using the Grape Shot was a bit aggressive, I think. So we will cut return. Bring in Brain. Bring in Chrysalis? No, not Chrysalis. Bring in Jailer. Run it back. Yeah, this is another matchup where I think Force of Vigor would be really good. You just claim Force of Vigor, both strong contenders for the sideboard. I think cutting 2 brains for 2 would be fine here. Because once again, the mid-range game plan's really rough. Gemstone Cavern's solid. I like this hand. The question is how we proceed with this. Because green 2, that would be 5. I think we exile an Emrakul. Yeah, keep, reveal, trigger, exile. Pass. Fetch, Scalding Tarn, 19 Shock Breeding Pool for Tamiyo. Mishra's Bobble. Pass. Chrysalis. We are short on Chrysalis. We can go just Temple and pass. Probably better than the Ugin Lab? No. They'll probably be tempted if they have a Boseiju or a way to destroy it. Go for Ugin Lab. We can just rip back whatever we have imprinted. So yeah, we're looking at turn 3, non-kicked Mycospawn into a turn 4 Breaker. We do need to be worried about Tamiyo because they do normally sideboard into a more control plan. with Consign, and then flipping this Tamiyo is a genuine concern. Opal, green, white, Rumble. Yeah, Amber's good here. What they grab? Imagine Amber or Saga. Grab Saga. Play Saga. Yeah, I guess they hadn't hit their land drop for the turn. That makes sense. Another Opal. Jesus. Another Rumble. Blue Emery. Thanks. Nature's Claim, Underworld Grinding Station. So a Bog here I think is correct. Temple, cast, green. Do you have a Consign? You can't cast it anyways, so we'll go Bog. Juka Bog, target you. Pass. Bobble. And pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A untapped land would be ideal for Breaker. Grab back Bobble. Preordain. Flip Tamiyo. I'll have to block with the Eldrazi spawn. Most likely. Unless they have another land. I guess they do. They have 1, 2. Yeah, they do. Okay, going Rumble. Misses Consign. Probably goes Bobble. Though maybe if they missed a land drop Scouting Tarn. Choose Emery. Stomping Ground Shock for nothing. Passes Unholy Heat, question mark? Land? Damn. This does let me cast Chrysalis, however. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Is there a better way for me to do this? No. Right? Just trying to think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there's no better way. So we cast Talisman. Does Talisman resolve? Yes. Green. Red. 2. Chrysalis trigger. Commercial District tapped. Utopia Sprawl to grave. Go to combat, attack Tamiyo. Imagine you block with a spawn. Really? That's surprising, because now you can't grab back Consign, so which makes me a bit concerned they might just have the win here. Bubble fetch. And we'll hold up the ability to respond in case. Saga, do you make a construct? That's the question. Us getting rid of 2 breaches was really good, but like they're one I mean, they're always just a card away from winning at all times, right? That's just a thing. Ooh, that scares me. Question then becomes, do we cast Airgas next turn? If we get a next turn. Tamiyo tick up. Yep. Emery. Emery trigger. Keeps the old one. Yep. Hits a grape shot. If that's their win con, then we're in a decent position to put them onto the mid-range game plan. If they have Breach, though, I think we could lose. Is that a Flame of Anor? That looks like the mana for Flame. Yes, that is fine. Not ideal, but fine. Hedge Maze. Okay, this tells me they don't have anything, but Opal Bean Up is annoying. Because that means they do have Consign at the ready. Another World Breaker. Let's go to combat. At Tamiyo, at Tamiyo. Trigger, trigger. Do you block with the spawns? 1, 2. Yes. Sack 1, sack 2, phase change, crack a clue, which now means no, Opal's still alive because of the amber. Dang it. I almost missed that for a second. That would have been so good. Alright. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, we could just go World Breaker. But I think it's correct to try. Is it correct to try? What would we be trying to exile into Emrakul specifically? Probably, right? If they have a Consign, though, we're in such deep trouble. Yeah, at least we'd be able to attack Emry into us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we have to try the Aragast. Sacrifice the spawn. Actually, okay, let's be smart about this. Oh no, we can't. It sacrifices part of the cost. Red. Red. 2. And triggers on the stack. I will exile hand. Didn't really hit anything of relevance, unfortunately. And nothing that I can cast right now. Them getting rid of the talisman actually was a huge issue, because I would have been okay with just casting Aragast in the World Breakers, but the Flame of Anor stopped us there. I will pass. Not much I can do. We'll hold up the ability to respond. Unholy Heat does nothing. Or we can't do anything about Unholy Heat. We're just living on a hope and a prayer right now. You really needed to see an Emrakul. Hell, even a land in Karn would have done it. Rumble. Gets a +1. I mean, they must just be looking for... There's Breach. Do they have... They don't have the grinding station, but they have Rumble to find it. No, well, shoot. Yeah, you got it. Run it. I can't do anything about it now. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that I could have done short of being able to get rid of that Tamiyo. I mean, I knew it was an issue and I was gunning for it, just wasn't able to get it down fast enough. So we've seen Jace, we've seen Grape Shot, so multiple winning conditions there. Let's just kind of take a peek at whatever else they have. Unfortunate. Like, we weren't in a bad position, just we weren't able to find the cards we needed in time. Yep, shifting wood. Because at this point, yeah, all you really need to do is just Jace, I think. You don't even go for Grape Shot. And even if I had the ability to command Jace and... Or if I had the ability to command right now, it wouldn't matter. You could only do Jace or Grape Shot. If I had X2, then we could have done something fantastic and just exiled both their win cons. That would have been amazing, but was not an option. Pithy Needle, yeah. You haven't seen a Unholy Heat yet, which is surprising to me. Alright, one more Jace and then you win. Actually, I think if you just play Jace tick up, you win, right? Yep, Jace, tick up, draw, static trigger, win. Actually, not even trigger, that's right. You can't counter the static, which is interesting. Yeah, to the sideboard. I'll be on the play, so we'll cut Gemstone for a Chrysalis. Run it back. On the play for game 3. Yes, we can keep this. This is a turn 2 Stonebrain, so it pushes them onto the mid-range game plan. And we can ramp as well. Breeding Pool, Shock, and Tameo? Nature's Claim. Well, okay. That's annoying. That now means that we can no longer play Stonebrain, or activate Stonebrain next turn. Emrakul, do like that. I will Shock on red. And because they do have Haywire Might, Nature's Claim, I think we hold the Brain. I think that is correct. Pass. Misty. Amber. I guess we should, just in case, like, have the ability to respond in case of a Boseiju. The thing that we should consider as an option. Emery. Rumble Claim. Rumble, Jesus. Sink. Grabbing Breach, I imagine. Grabbing Shifting. I guess Shifting does act as both a land and then also a Breach. Interesting proposal. Sowing Mycospawn does rip the Breach from the yard as well as targets for Emery. Of course, they do have Bauble on field. Brain just ensures we don't lose. I mean, I think the don't lose is correct here. Because then they're on the mid-range plan. So Brain. Would have liked the land, so we could have sprawled. Brain target you, naming Underworld Breach. One in hand. Jesus Christ, they had the win next turn. Yeah, they straight up have the win next turn. Oh, glad we did that. Pass. Shifting Wood. Bobble. Target me. Next turn we can Sowing Myco Spawn. Grabs back Bobble. Plays Bobble. Yep. And passes. A little bit worried about a consign. Trigger. Draw. Bobble's such an underrated card. It's so good. Fetch. I will grab a forest. I think a basic forest is correct here. Green, red, green for red. Unfortunately, it's only 5 and not 6. Myco Spawn, trigger. Do you have a consign? If you don't, then we have Emrakul next turn. Bajuka Bog, I think, is correct. I mean, it gets rid of their Opal, gets rid of Bobble, gets rid of, like, they can't escape anymore is the thing, right? Versus if we grab a Cavern of Souls, we guarantee Airghast lands. And then we could wait a turn, theoretically. Because right now we've pushed them onto the mid-range game plan. Now they still have Jace, mind you, so they still have a way to win. But maybe Cavern is correct. Like, they're going to be able to bobble regardless. So I don't think Bajuka Bog actually does too much. I will grab Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. And pass. Okay. Worst case scenario, Unholy Heat, question mark. Bobble, target me. Otherwise, we get an uncounterable Airghast next turn. Saga. Grab back Bobble. Yeah, Bobble's so good here. Emery Bobble. Underrated. Like, you just draw 2 every single turn. Absurd. Grinding Station. So they might just be going for the mill plan now. Draw. Return Airghast the hand. I could attack first. I'm a little bit worried about doing so, though. Sack the Myco Spawn. Red. Red, red. 1. Airghast. Do you counter the trigger? You do. That's so good. Do it, do it, do it. Yes. Didn't want to use it anyways, you fool. Please don't have a second one. Emrakul? Please have a second one. No! Oh, no. I got greedy. I mean... I don't know. What was the right move there? Was it right for us to wait a turn because then they have multiple outs, right? Though I guess we didn't see Unholy Heat last game, which was weird to me. Um, right? We didn't see Unholy Heat, I don't think. No, I don't think so. So like my concern was twofold. Aragast gets hit by Unholy Heat, or I think that was it. Like they can't combo off. They already cast a consign. They had to have had the second. I don't know. And now I'm second guessing myself. Was that the right play? To just go for it? I think maybe it was. Sprawl. Shoot. Man. Cast Talisman. Spell Snare, sure. 4 green. Pass. Because, like, we could have had an uncounterable Emrakul this turn. And then just beat them in the face of it. But now we have a construct staring us down. That's right now a 3/3. It's going to be a 4/4, a 5/5, a 6/6. Now, obviously, Emrakul's trigger would have been countered by the consign. In retrospect, maybe waiting a turn to cast the Emrakul to ensure its body stuck was correct. We would have been able to attack with the Aragast. They may have blocked with the Tamiyo. Otherwise, they'd be at 9. We get a 13/13 pro instant body. We might not get control of their turn, but at the very least, we would have lethal on board if they hadn't blocked with the Tamiyo. They've now locked down Karn with Pithy Needle as well. Yeah. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should I have played around the second consign? Or should I have just sent it knowing that they cast the first one so aggressively? Because I guess my biggest concern was them getting to the point of being able to just win off the back of Jace. Oh, what the hell? How much damage are you dealing? Only 4. But you can pick up it next turn. Yeah, you got it. I mean, we can see. We can't do anything. Yeah, maybe I got too aggressive. Like, they can sign the first one. So we force them to have the second. Damn, the one time I don't play around the consign, I just send it. I mean, I'm thinking back to the freaking round 9 of day 1 at Regional Championship Portland, to where I didn't go for it. An opponent didn't have it, and I lost because of it. Now, of course, here I ripped out their combo plan, so maybe it was okay or better for me to take it slow instead of trying to just send it. Because like I said, if we just took it slow and Aragast just sat for a turn, right? We didn't see Unholy Heat in the board last game. So we would have been able to attack. if they didn't block the Tameo, they would have went from, I think, 15 to 9. We then cast an uncounterable Emrakul. They counter the trigger, but the body remains. The only way around it would have been a Sink into Stupor to bounce the spell. But they wouldn't have had... Well, at that point, they may have had enough mana, right? But then we would have had lethal on board for the win. The following turn, which would have been this turn. So maybe I played too aggressively? Should we have played around the second consign? Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. The first consign was cast aggressively. Maybe that should have been a warning for me to know that they had something else. That they had the second consign. But them countering that, like, screams to me that, like, okay, well, I need you not to have anything else, right? But then again, maybe the thought I should have had was, well, if you're countering this, then you must have something else in your back pocket. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Like I said, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Should I have sat back with the Emrakul, or should I have proceeded as I did? Obviously, looking back in retrospect, you have perfect knowledge. Knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have, and we would have potentially won. I think maybe the one factor that I just didn't consider at the time that I should have is that we didn't see Unholy Heat in their deck last game, so it's likely that Aragast would have survived. Yeah, maybe that's the only thing that maybe would change my decision making when thinking back. Unfortunate. But we'll be back for round 5. Alright, and we're back for round 6 on the draw for game 1. You might notice that my timer is a little bit low. I had to deal with a situation on campus, so I ran in between rounds and then came back to this. Would have loved to have seen a talisman. Let's go Verdant Catacombs and pass. Pause on end step. Scouting turn kind of feels like it might be Grinding Station. Thundering Falls, though, I don't think... Whoa. Slickshot show off is unusual. That's a bit concerning. Could be Wizards, because that's a wizard, right? It is a wizard. So it could be Prowess. End step fetch. For District. The Writhing Crystals will be really good here. Myco Spawn, not really what we want right now. Draw. Devour. Well, we'll play the Ugin Lab for a breaker and pass. Yeah, a little bit slow for what I fear, or what I think we're playing against. Thankfully, Cavern will guarantee the resolution of Chrysalis as a blocker, so that's good, but do we survive the turn is the question. Ideally, we can draw into another land, because we go Chrysalis, Cavern Souls, Chrysalis, land, then we can Devour. Okay, no cast. Another Slick Shot, so they're setting up for next turn. I'll draw. Sprawl. Sprawl does not cut it right now. Eldrazi. Cavern of Souls. Red. Green. Lab. Triggers. Okay, so I really need a land for either Devourer or Breaker next turn. Otherwise, I guess we can just go sowing Myco Spawn. There's a Slick Shot. What do they have? Preordain. Thankfully we can block one of them, and it will trade. So if they don't have a way to interact with this Chrysalis, we should be fine. Do combat, attack, block with a sneaky reach. Monstrous Rage. The creature roll token is a problem. Because now it's a X3. I'm not sure if we should sacrifice a spawn or not. Regardless, we're taking, what is that, 13 damage. And if they have another pump spell, I think we do sack a spawn to try and get this off board. We can Sowing Micah spawn. For 9, we'll be at 8, but it will take a Slick Shot Show off board. Bolt. Jesus. Yeah, so now we're down to 14. That is 6-11. Yikes. I mean, if we sack it, we just save 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we draw into a temple. Alright, we'll just keep it like this. Down to 1. Did I do my math wrong? I guess so. We need a Devourer, and even then... Oof. That does not cut it. Yeah. So I should have... Maybe I should have sacked the spawn, because at least then it would have put me to 2, so they would need at least a spell to then show off. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe a bit of a misplay on my part. So this looks like Prowess, maybe? It's either Prowess or Wizards. Well, we bring in the Writhing Chrysalis. That much is clear. Return is good here. We cut to Karn and cut a Gemstone since we'll be on the play. Let's see what they got. Yeah, if I had sacked the other spawn, we at least may have had a turn. Draw. Feels slow, because we go Temple, Temple, Impulse. And then if we have a land, we can kick a Myco spawn, but kick a Myco spawn feels a bit slow. If we draw into command, though, it's really good. So we have pretty decent draws, to be fair. Mire. Pass. Bobble. Looks at self. Sees if they want to fetch. They do not. They draw. Another breaker. Well, let's go Temple. Attempt to resolve Talisman. Looks like they're going to consign it or counter it. Spell Snare? Consign. That's fine. Not the end of the world. But not great either. Slick Shot for 1. Impulse. Bog. Bog target you. So that's 2, 4, 6. One more would give us Devourer. You would hope that they don't have Consign. Otherwise, we have a kicked Myco spawn. Yeah, so it definitely looks like Prowess. Lava Dart. Ooh, Lava Dart might kill me here? No. 5, 6. I mean, it's definitely not... Oh, a second lava? Oh, okay. Well, double Lava Dart might actually kill me. No shot. Yeah, I think it kills me. Straight up. We're one. And a mutagenic growth. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much I could have done here. Point blank statement. Even I guess a return would have helped. But yeah, I don't think there's much I could have done there. Nope. All right. Well, we'll probably play out round 7 regardless. Right now we're X4. There was... So, I think I opened this up. I didn't mention. This is round 6. We didn't play round... There was no recording of round 5 because we didn't play round 5 as a bye. So right now, 2-4 going into 7. Not a great record, to say the least. We've lost to Energy because Molten Rain's a card. Titan because Titan. Arguably one of our worst matchups, but also I think, once again, Force of Vigor will be a good addition to the sideboard. Grinding Station. I was going over it with a few people, and I'm just not sure. I think I did make a mistake by not holding Airghast. We hadn't seen Unholy Heat, so I think it was correct just to hold the Airghast, attack with Airghast, cast an Uncounterable Emrakul. The trigger gets countered by the second Consign, and then we have Lethal on board. And then Prowess, yeah, I don't think I could have done anything here short of having a return or a command, right? We needed interaction, we just didn't find it. It was a bit of a slow hand, and them countering the Talisman actually was pretty relevant. Because if they hadn't, we would have then played a Myco Spawn and then a Devour, yada yada yada. Would have been a much better position. But that said, sometimes we win some, sometimes lose some. That said, we'll be back for round 7. Alright, and we're back for round 7 on the draw for game 1. We will keep this hand. We can go Rainforest Sprawl into Chrysalis or Myco Spawn. We also get a draw off of Devourer, so that looks solid. Reveal Devourer. Pass. Telestrand fetch for Sacred Foundry Shock to 17. Ragavan? Ugh. Yeah, probably the worst case scenario there, but we don't need to worry about Molten Rain just yet, thankfully. We could grab another Ugin's Lab. Would that benefit us more than, let's say, another Devourer or World Breaker? Is there a world where that's beneficial? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I would say yes. So let's grab Ugin Lab. That way we can ideally set up for a 7-mana value spell. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At the same time, we have the Sowing Myco Spawn, so maybe a Devourer or World Breaker would be good. That way we don't have to untuck the Devourer there. So probably another Devourer. Though then we potentially get hosed by a Blood Moon. Maybe a World Breaker then. I'll grab World Breaker. While Blood Moon isn't highly played right now, I was thinking about fetching for a Stomach Ground, but I think I'll go Forest. But now I get blown out by a Static Prison. See, that's kind of one side. Like, on one hand, Blood Moon isn't played much main. On the other hand, Static Prison isn't played much main. Thraben Charm is still 2 of in most decks. So maybe the Stomping Ground was correct, so we could sweep next turn with Return at worst. Like, if they Moon... Plug in Parlor. Surveil trigger. Maybe we swing Myco Spawn then. Whatever's on top is tempting. What else did they hit? I haven't paid attention. They had Sprawl. Yeah, if they hit Utopia Sprawl, we're in trouble. Oh god. Bombardment's fine. Trigger Imprint Devourer. The question is, are they trying to flip in a Johnny? So we could Chrysalis as a blocker. I think that's correct here. And then we have 2 Sowing Myco Spawns that we can kick. And or just cast. Non-kicked, potentially. We can non-kicked grabbing a Stomping Ground. That's a thought. Even if they flip in a Johnny, as long as Chrysalis sticks on board, then we should be able to kill the Johnny next turn. Guide of Souls is fine. Onslaught Pride, because whenever... Okay, Static Prison, a little bit meh, but okay. Oh, taking the Sprawl is okay here. And end step. Thank God they didn't see that 1 turn sooner. Emrakul. 1, 2, 3. Well, we can't kick the Myco Spawn now, regardless. Trigger, resolve. Once again, trying to get in that habit. Non-kicked Sowing Myco Spawn. It would make sense to me to grab a Stomping Grounds tapped. Yes. Now we have a red source. We'll have 6 mana next turn. We have blockers, both on the ground and with reach. Static Prison will eat up some of their energy reserves. Paying cost for Pride. Pride is fine, but does give them both energy and bombardment fodder. I'd like a land to ideally get rid of bombardment next turn. Pride triggers, gets them another energy. There's Temple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can breaker the bombardment now. So trigger, resolve. Let's get rid of bombardment. They're not inclined to attack next turn for obvious reasons between Chrysalis and Breaker. They'll tick down on the static prison down to 2, so they would need a cast to get the 3 anyways. I don't foresee them attacking, so we should then be able to sweep board and be in a good position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We could also cast Mycospawn and return next turn. That is an option. Static Prison. They will spend an energy. I mean, we're just sitting here biding our time, hoping that they overextend into board. A Johnny. Perfect. So we did avoid a Johnny as we had hoped. Triggers. Worst case scenario here is an untapped land into discharge. I mean, I guess they can attack the cats and we can't block reasonably. Do they float the cats? The question. I mean, even if they do, that's fine. We can just block it next turn. It's whatever. Okay, they flip the cat. We'll take the 3. There's no reason for me to flip the Johnny. Yep. Down to 14. Second main and pass. Onslaught Pride does trigger. They'll get City's Blessing, make all the cats they could possibly need. Pass to my turn. Draw. So we can 1, 2, 3, 4, leaving 1, 2, 3, cast a Sowing Mycospawn. Now I could imprint Emrakul, can't I? We grab Ugin's Lab. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So yes, we can lab. Just dump our hand. Emrakul. Resolve. Talisman. And return. And that should be the game. The only thing we hold back is probably the World Breaker. Johnny flips, but it's not here to do much. Hold back Breaker, hold back Chrysalis. Probably hold back the Chrysalis. Deal 8 damage here. We pass. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're short on the Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but we have the Devourer, so we will be able to exile anything we need on board. Probably want to exile the Fable Do we have lethal if we... I mean, we can clear board, but then Myco Spawns die. So that doesn't feel as good. If we exile the cat, they can block World Breaker. That's 7-10. Not lethal damage, mind you. Karn X0. Let's take a look real quick. 7, 10, 15. Yes. Karn X0 does close up the game. KGC for EE. EE for 0 to win. Okay. Solid game 1. We'll bring in Chrysalis, return, and cut Karn. Run it back. And now we hope and pray that our opponent isn't on however many Molten Rains. I actually kind of want to take a look at the energy lists, but we'll hold off. So Lab into Breaker, Impulse into Temple allows for Myco. We'll keep. We can also hold up the return if we want, depending. Arid Mesa fetch. Sacred Foundry shock for Ragavan. As if we get by a turn 2 Molten Rain, I'm gonna be so pissed. Rumble. Lab. Imprint. Talisman. Pass. And pass. So we could go Temple, Myco Spawn, Shock in a... I guess we don't need to Shock in a Stomping Grounds. We could just go Temple. It'll like that. We could just go for Forest. That way we can set up for Impulse. Or not Impulse, for Chrysalis the following turn. We can Malevolent Rumble as well. Static Prison on Impulse is actually an issue. Now we need a green source. Yeah, that was the worst case scenario. So we benefit from command, green source, not another return. We'll play Temple and pass, and now we kind of are in the hope and pray plan. Because we needed that green source for Rumble or Spawn. And if they have Charmaw, I mean Charmaw, Molten Rain, etc. I feel like they probably would have Molten Rain last turn. But now they are definitely in line for a Charmaw. Of course, Ragavan, as we always say, is going to hit the card that we need, because that's just how it works. I'm going to say Ragavan attacks hitting a wooded foothill. That's what I'm going to say. That's my guess. Place your bets now. And... Ragavan. Kozilek's command. Well, that would have been good too. That would have been good. Scry draw X2 at the very least. Try and find a green source. In the moment that Static Prison gives back return, we're in business, but if they do anything in the meanwhile to generate energy, we're SOL. So a Guide of Souls Ocelot Pride just pretty much locks us out. I think the best thing we could find is a red source. Green-red source, to be exact. Talisman's not great. Really need an untapped land. Oh, what are you casting? Pyro's fine. What you pitching? Eee, the Flage I'm not a fan of. That means they have a Flage next turn. So a green source for a Myco spawn into a Bajuka Bog would be ideal. Yeah. Let's see a forest. Shoot. Yeah, I mean, we knew it was fragile to a static prison. That's unfortunate. We pass. I can't do jack. We are majorly SOL here. Because next turn we're going to take 5 down to 11, 11 down to 8, and if they have a hasted flage, we're dead, right? Static prison. Alright, do you have the Arena of Glory? If so, we die. We concede. It's possible, or there might be an argument that maybe we shouldn't have. I'll just see myself out, thank you. I'll just see myself out. We can move on to game 3. We will cut the gemstone for the Karn. I mean, we had like multiple hits off the top that made that hand keepable, so I feel like it was correct to keep, but it was fragile to wear tear to static prison, so it is what it is. On the play for game 3, we cannot keep this hand. It's another iffy one. We'll keep it. Drop a return, drop a sprawl, drop a sprawl, drop a return, drop a sprawl. Done. Main, lab, breaker, imprint, impulse pass. Getting flashbacks to last game. Sacred Foundry, shock, static prison. Ragavan, that's fine. I'll deal for Ragavan. Temple, command's looking good. We'll pass. The question is whether or not I exile Ragavan. Go to combat. Beginning of combat, I'm going to ramp exile. I'm going to hold up my black source, or not my black source, my red source, just in case there's an off chance we want to sweep. And hold out the ability to respond. Guide of Souls, yes. Ocelot Pride, yes. Trigger. In response. That's why we held it. Of course, had the World Breaker pass. Like, now we have another one, so it's not the end of the world. I guess if he had World Breaker, Sacred Foundry, I mean, it would have been good. It would have been good. Arena of Glory, please don't tell me you have a Charmaw. Ragavan's fine. Do we want to sweep a Ragavan's the question? Like, I don't want to, but I think I have to, question mark. Dash, draw, Windswept Teeth, pass, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1 short. We will grab a commercial district on end step. Like, maybe there was an argument. Fable's fine. Maybe there's an argument for me holding the return and letting Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride resolve and stick on board. Because then we could have drawn and seen what we had. We could have swept later. I don't know. Should I have been more conservative? Or should I have swept earlier? Or what, did I sweep on time? I'm not sure. Commercial district, trigger. Chrysalis is good. It does set up for World Breakers. I will keep that on top. So green, red, colorless. This way we can turn World Breaker if needed. Pass. Ramp and a good blocker. So now a hasty Charm isn't as bad. Fable will dig them deeper for an answer though. The good news is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If they do Charm we'll be 1 off of a World Breaker, which would sweep board if needed. They only pitch a land, so they draw a card. So the other 2 they wanted to keep. The question is, what were they? Not 1-drops as we saw, because they had 1 mana left over. A Johnny, okay. Do they have a way to flip a Johnny? Yeah, another Johnny will do it. So they'll have 3. Yep, that's fine. Makes a cat 4. Yeah, that is okay because we'll be able to World Breaker, get rid of Fable. Yeah, that is fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tempted to return the World Breaker to hand. 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, never mind. Yes, that will die. I could stop it, but I don't think it would have been wise. Yep. You'll attack with the Goblin Shaman. Trigger. No blocks. Take 2. And what's the last card in hand, friend? Nothing that you want to reveal right now. Cool. Forced. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This way we can hold up the breaker. Return, World Breaker, get rid of Fables. That way you don't have a red permanent on board. Yes. Sweep. No. Resolve. Hold up the ability to respond, and on end step, I am tempted to return World Breaker to hand. We've seen how many 7 mana value spells now? Ghost Vacuum. So now it'll take care of return. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, that makes it more complicated. Tick up. No red permanents, so that's fine. If you want another body on board, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've seen 6 lands out of our 21 untapped. So we have 15 hits off the top. But like similarly, we could find a 7 mana value spell, which we have 8 of. So like odds are we find a land. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's better here? The World Breaker or the chance of something else? Land tapped. So that signals they don't have much. I will return the World Breaker. We'll take our chances. Of course, we're going to hit a 7 mana value spell. Might go. I'll take it. we will get rid of Arena of Glory. So no hasty land for you. We can grab a temple, grab a bog. The benefit of bog is that they have fine flage. It'll be harder for them to escape it. We could grab Sanctum of Ugin, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'd be short on the Emrakul though, so I think we do go bog. Just make the lives a bit more difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, bog. Bajuka bog, you go to combat and swing at a Johnny. Force you to block with the Cat Warrior token. Next turn we can World Breaker and get rid of the Ghost Vacuum or a land. The Ghost Vacuum I'm not too worried about right now. Wait, a Johnny dies? Why would you let a Johnny die? Maybe well, okay, so I missequenced there. I should have attacked first, but to be fair, I just wasn't anticipating them giving me a Johnny. Opponent concedes. Alright, we'll take it. Alright, well, that is the end of today's challenge. We ended up 3 and 4 at the end of 7, though out of played matches, 2 and 4. We did get a bye in round 5, if I remember correctly. If we look back at our games, our wins and our losses, I mean, our loss against Energy in round 2, game 3, Molten Rain back to back, just rough. Molten Rain is going to be difficult for us to do much about. Titan does as Titan does, but as we mentioned earlier, Stone Rain being replaced by Force of Vigor feels really good, especially if we do add 2 Ancient Stirrings to main. Grinding Station, looking back at game 3 and just thinking about it more and more based on the board state, I think it was correct for me to cast Aragast past the turn. To me, at the time, I read them consigning the cast trigger as a sign of desperation, but based on the state of the game and me not seeing Unholy Heat in game 1 and game 2, I think it made sense for me to not play around that. Of course, if they had it and they killed the Aragast, it would have resulted in the same thing, but we can't say neither here nor there. It is possible we just did not see the Unholy Heat because it usually is a one of, right? Regardless, I mean, we forced them to have the Unholy Heat, whereas we could have played around the consign. We could have attacked into Airgas, brought them down to 9, I think. Either within lethal range of Emrakul. Cast the encounter Emrakul, the trigger would have then been countered, but we had a 13/13 body on board. That's pro instant and lethal if they cannot deal with it. So I think it was correct since we weren't in immediate danger. Like, yes, they could have theoretically, if the stars aligned, mainly in the way of double grinding station, I think could have gotten them there. I think double grinding station may have been able to get them to the win with Jace. But like, that's on the off chance that happens. And I think even then, that line would have been pretty narrow. So I think in game 3, I should have been a bit more reserved. I think that I was just thinking back to like round 9, game 2 of Regional Championship Portland and got too far in my head. Prowess, I mean, it's probably just as bad as a matchup as Burn and Mill are, but because it is such a rarity to play against it, I mean, we can't really tech against it outside of Kozilek's return and to have removal. And we were not fast enough. And then Energy, we had a good win here. So overall, I mean, I'm happy with my games. I think there were just probably, there's like at most maybe one game that I truly felt I could have done something differently. So a loss is a loss. They suck, but it happens. You learn from them, you move on, right? That said, as always, I do hope that you guys did enjoy today's video. If you haven't already, please do consider hitting that like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or just some general feedback. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me in both my successes and my failures, I hope to learn from you all as well. And finally, if you aren't already and have reached this point in the video, please do consider subscribing. We are getting closer and closer to our 500 subscriber goal. It'd be much appreciated. With that said, folks, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!